Hi there. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the task scheduler. Now, it's kind of like one of the last components we haven't really looked at, and you can find it under management here. And this allows you to create Hyperlambda task, giving your tasks a name. I'm just going to call mine foo. And then you can provide any amount of Hyperlambda you wish here. If you remember one of our first videos, we were persisting Hyperlambda into a database. Well, actually, this is no different. That is exactly what this thing is doing. However, it also contains logic to allow you to schedule your tasks. You can also provide a description here, logs to our server log, for instance. I can save this task, and now I can schedule this task. If I want to, I can schedule this task to run tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Now the task is being executed tomorrow at the same time as now. However, I can also schedule a repeating pattern. For instance, if I now write 5 dot seconds, what that basically means is that every 5 seconds this task should execute. And if I now try to click create, then you will see scheduling tasks is turned off in your server. Now, why? Well, actually, because by default, the task manager don't allow you to schedule tasks using repetition patterns such as this. So let's fix that by creating a new segment in our configuration here. Call it tasks, colon, object like this, and then scheduler true. If we now save this task and we go back to our task scheduler, we choose our foo task and we try to schedule it again using a repetition pattern, then it will work. And now this task is executed once every 5 seconds. We now wait for 5 seconds and open up our log in a different browser window. You will see hello world from task 5 seconds ago. If we refresh every 5 seconds, you will see another one. And every 5 seconds, basically, this task is being executed, which implies logging to the server log. Now, you can have a multitude of different repetition patterns. By the way, that's deleting the schedule for the task. And this thing can have any repetition pattern that you want to apply for your tasks. If you want to look at these patterns, you should click documentation, click the hamburger menu at the top right corner here, and go down and find magic.lambda.scheduler important. This is the project that documents the task scheduler. And here you can see, if you scroll down here, you can see all the different repetition patterns you can apply. Let me see. Scheduling task, repeating tasks, and here you can see the x.units thing that we just created where we wrote 5 seconds. Now, of course, units can be exchanged with seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months, etc. In addition, you can create more specific repetition patterns that, for instance, does the task every Thursday at 12:30, or you could have a pattern that executes a task such as this every month at some specific day of the month, etc., etc. So I encourage you to read this if you are interested in more complex repetition patterns and study it yourself. However, if you scroll to the top here, you will see something interesting, because the ability to create tasks is actually possible to automate. Now, if I go back to my Cloudlet here and I choose MISC and I choose evaluator and I create some space here, then I can write tasks dot control space, and I'm getting out autocomplete. Now I can create a task. If you look at the syntax here, you see that it takes the ID of your task and then it takes a Lambda object. Okay, so let's create a task, call it bar, and then write dot Lambda, and then let's do, I don't know, strings dot concats dot foo dot bar log.info :x :minus, and then we can execute this task. If we now open up our task scheduler that we can find in management here, and we look at it, you will see we now have a bar task that we actually dynamically created using Hyperlambda. Now, this lends itself to stuff such as business workflows and things like that. Why? Because when something is happened, you can actually create a task that serves like a dynamically created piece of Hyperlambda that you later execute using tasks.execute. I can now execute the bar task. If I select only this Hyperlambda and I click execute, then it will execute only this Hyperlambda, which basically implies executing my bar task. So let's try it out by doing something like this, clicking F5, expanding MISC, opening up our server log, and go here. And as you can see, it correctly logged foobar to our log. So basically, the tasks is not only a UI component, but it's actually a complete, you might say, business process workflow thing. You can also schedule a specific task. You can list your tasks if you want to. Click F5 here. You see I get all my tasks here with the description, etc., etc. Yet again, click the documentation. If you are interested in more information about this, click the hamburger menu, scroll down here, find magic.lambda.scheduler, and here's the entire documentation for the task scheduler in Magic. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.